Welcome all to the Lefty Zone. Last weekend I was watching a movie, and it was about a schoolboy. And one day in his class, he was writing with his left hand, and when one of his teachers saw him writing with left hand, he shouted him and told him to write with right hand. And I was astonished about this, like why he told him to write with right hands. I mean, how is writing with left hand related to his education and his writing? And somehow I take it personally because I'm a lefty too. So I thought, why don't we figure it out? What are the reasons for people being lefty, and what are the things that make them lefty? Left-handers have been linguistically abused for centuries. There are lots of mainly abusive terms for left-handers. They have been accused of criminality, dealing with devil, and students have been forced to re-education. In the past time, the students who prefer to write with left hand are forced to write with right hands. And a lot of the students learn writing with the right hands, but after an enormous effort, So, if we look at the words in the different cultures and languages for left-handers, it comes out to be very negative. Like, if we see in the Greek, the word for left-handers is skaios, which means awkward. In the Spanish, the word is zurdo, which means reverse. In German, the word is linkish, which means, again, the awkward. In French, the word is gaiche, which means clumsy. And in Hindi, the word is ulta, which means reverse. And there are also lots of sayings where left is considered bad and right is considered as a good. Like to say, it will be all right in the end. The divine rights of kings, as opposed to being left out, and the left-handed compliment, etc. So the question is where this left-handedness comes from. Basically, the hand orientation, whether it is right or left, comes from the brain asymmetry. After lots of studies, the scientists suggested that there is a gene called LRRTM1, which plays a vital role to create asymmetry in the brain. Now, this gene is not essential for left-handers, but it can be a strong contributor. We know that the way brain works is incredibly complex, but let me give some understanding that how it works and how it is related to hand dominance. So, our brain is cross-wired. So, our left hemisphere controls the right-hand side of the body, and our right hemisphere of the brain controls the left-hand side of the body. And this hand dominance comes from the dominance of brain on the opposite side, and that is why it is said that only left-handers are in their right minds. This left hemisphere controls basic things like speech, writing, mathematics, logic, science, and that is why it's called the linear thinking mode. While the right hemisphere controls things like creativity, perception, art, music, and things like that. And that's why it's called the holistic thinking mode. Another reason that is accepted by the scientists for being left-handy is it's because some environmental factors like the stress in the womb. The babies that are born at the lower birth weight, and those mothers, the older age mothers, are more likely to give the birth to the left-handed child. And also the mothers who are exposed to great high level of stress are more likely to give birth to the left-handed child. Generally, the left-handed fact comes out to be negative or comical, but there are some fields in which the left-handers are ahead of their right-handed counterparts. Like the study suggested that left-handers are more effective and more far ahead from righties in in the activities which requires lots of calculation or lots of information and stimuli, just because of their ability to use brain from the both sides. Another fact is lefties are more likely to recover from strokes than righties, again just because of their ability to use the brain from both sides. The very big advantage the lefties have on the games like tennis and baseball, because in these games players are more likely to prone conflict with right-handed. So when they face the left-handers, they feel a little difficult to handle them. Apart from this, there also have some disadvantages of being lefty. Like a very general disadvantage is like using scissors. If you use the scissors are mainly designed for right-handers, but nowadays there are also scissors from the left-handers. Another thing, another disadvantage for being lefty is, I consider the biggest disadvantage in schools, like we have the desk designed for the righties. So when you get on the left side and when you're writing, your left hand side, your right arm is stick on the edge. But when you write from the left hand, you have to stick out your arm from the desk. And the desks for the left-handers are designed, but it is very hard to find out in the schools. I have very difficulty to find out in my school. On the August 13, 1992, the Left-Hander Club announced the International Left-Handers Day. And this is because this is the day when the left-handers across the world celebrate their awareness and being left-handy. This club was formed in 1990 to keep in mind to the development to the left-handers. Now this organization, what it does is it makes their views to the manufacturers, and they continue to develop and research on the things designed for the left-handers. Let me give you some easy tips to identify whether a person is lefty or righty. Imagine you are applauding, just clap today, right now. So which hand is uppermost? That decides whether you is lefty or righty. Another, the simple one is just close your forearms. Which hand is uppermost? That decides, we can identify whether the person is lefty or righty. There is a very nice poem about the left-handers. In the beginning, when God made woman and man, to identify the intelligence, he devised a glorious plan. After we tested, he commanded those with greater intelligence, we will henceforth be a left-handed. So when you see a lefty, please show them some respect and try not to be offended by their greater intellect. Although you are a righty for which there is no cure, remember, God loves you. He just loves lefties more. Thank you, Mrs.